Hey, everybody. Zach Husted, Leaders Lead. I have Lieutenant Colonel retired Jon Myers. John, man, you're such a champ. I'm putting you through the podcast rumble with me on this one, but I love it. It's fantastic. Such a great guest, such great story and wisdom to share. Thanks for being here, man.
Thank you. It's been awesome.
Yeah, yeah, this is, um, you know, I feel like we're just, I almost feel like we're sitting in the same room. It's so rad. Like, and just like, where's the beer, or like the bourbon with the cigar? I mean, I'm not a cigar guy, but I
Yeah, I
mean,
was gonna
you get
say
the
if I
point.
smoked a cigar, I'd probably vomit and then pass out.
Yeah, like, it's not my thing, but like, you get the point. um hey, you've done a few introductions of yourself, and um so I'm going to ask you a question real quick. If you could be a superhero, um what superhero would you be?
Well, I mean, Batman obviously is out. He's not a superhero. He's just a regular dude with some advanced technology. So,
I never thought of it that way. I always answer Batman.
it's not a good one. He's not a superhero.
That's so literal. Like, it's true.
You take away all of his special inventions, and he's just some regular dude. But
Yeah.
yeah, to me, superhero is somebody who's ingrained with. I mean, it's got to be Superman, right? Because he can literally make the Earth spin in the opposite direction.
Yeah, I think you got to go Superman.
Yeah,
I really like Batman though.
he's not a superhero.
I know, but I like him.
He's just basically a cop with a lot of gear.
I love it. I love it. Hey, you want to give a brief introduction of who you are, and a
Sure,
little bit about your background?
sure. I'm Jon Myers. I was a Marine for 28 years, intelligence officer, 14th generation Virginian. I live in Virginia with my wife and son, and I have two daughters that are away at college in Virginia. And retired in 2020 from the Joint Staff, where I worked for the chairman as Director of Regional Intelligence. And my claim to fame is that I've been involved in a lot of the high profile missions that the Marines have conducted over the last 30 years, including the rescue of Scott O'Grady from Bosnia. I was the Marine who had the Marines that were supposed to go into Benghazi, but were told to stand down. I led the Snowden investigation for the Marine Corps, and I helped to evacuate Afghanistan.
Man, like, what um what a span, right? And um that's crazy. You've had quite the career, and I think you're just getting started,
Well,
right?
I'm
Like,
getting started a little late then.
no, I think you're just getting warmed up, my friend. Um, so for those of you who don't know, John, if you haven't caught it in the other podcast, John's running for Congress in Virginia 7th District. And I don't live in Virginia, but if I did, I'd be pretty excited to vote for him. For not that I am a huge political person at all, but just for the core values of who he is in his DNA, and um, just the overall integrity that John has as a human, and what I know about him, and um, the resilience that he has for doing the right thing. And that's going to be kind of one of the themes of this episode today. Is I really want to highlight integrity. Integrity is everything. And it's kind of like your word. It's kind of like your it's your badge. It's your trade currency. It's who you are, right? And it's all about um how are you perceived. And I have a guy that, I won't say his name, but I hope he watches this one. He's one of my mentors. um you know who you are, and I'm going to send you this link, and I want you to watch this. And you sent this to me. um you said, tell me who you are and what you're about by telling me who your friends are, right? And it's all about that trust circle. And it's true. And that comes down to what type of character are you? What type of integrity do you have? And You know, we've talked a lot about your situations, John, about how you've had to deal with some high profile stuff. You've had to deal with some pretty intense documentation over your career, right?
Hmm.
Not giving up on O'Grady, trying to build the reconnaissance plan of what happened with the Snowden stuff, and then building the case against Hansen, um, and then going toe to toe with the Clinton administration.
Yes.
I mean, if I can't think of anything that talks about integrity more than that, I, I don't know what embodies it. So, I'm teeing this all up for you to say, can you talk to me a little bit about what integrity means to you, and how you instill that in the leaders um, that you build up around you, and how you demonstrate that to others, like within your command?
Yeah. Sure. So integrity is, if you ever saw A Few Good Men with Jack Nicholson, if you recall
Yeah.
that Tom Cruise's character was not even allowed to question the integrity of um, Kiefer Sutherland's character, the lieutenant, because in the Naval Service, in the Marine Corps service, questioning the integrity of an officer is a punishable offense if you don't have evidence that they don't have integrity. And there's a whole scene in the movie where they talk about that, you know. But you'll find that in real life, even in the military, even in the Marines, um, most people kind of go along. They'll compromise their integrity. I'm not saying they lie or they steal, but they'll compromise their integrity and their principles in the quest to get ahead, or to get promoted, or to get that next big assignment. And what I always tried to practice in my Marine Corps career is that, the acceptance of the fact that the right thing and the easy thing are never the same thing. You know, it's usually not easy to do the right thing. And in an environment like the Marine Corps and probably the other services, um, speaking truth to power, while people say, "Oh, it's great, he's a guy who speaks truth to power," but in the Marine Corps, it doesn't help you. Okay, it can hurt you. Um, it didn't help my career any. I didn't make general, and the reason is because I generally spoke the truth, because I felt that was the thing to do that would, develop your reputation for having integrity. And so the one example I would use is when I went to Iraq during the invasion. My mission there was to write the after action report for intelligence. So I had to deploy all the way down to like the platoon level and gather data or intelligence on all the intelligence Marines, the systems we used, you know, basically everything, imagery we got, how we collected counterintelligence and signals intelligence, anything to do with intelligence. I was responsible for figuring out how well we did it in the war, and then writing a report after. And the interesting thing was, to get on this special team, you had to be nominated by your general. My general was the general who ran intelligence for the Marine Corps. He nominated me to be on this team. I was the intelligence person. I was a major at the time. Once you were on the team, the commandant, we worked for the commandant, and he came and he told us, "I know your general sent you here, but you don't work for him anymore. Now you work for me. So you go out and you do your job and you tell me the truth. Okay. When you come back," he said, "if something's bad, you tell me it's bad. If I need to cut it from the Marine Corps, you tell me I need to cut it from the Marine Corps." I said, "Yes, sir." Saluted. It was on my way. And I took that to heart. And I felt I would keep my integrity if I told the truth. And it became very difficult to do that. All the generals who sent the other members of the team, the infantry general who sent the infantry guy, that pilots, a lot of them bent because their general said, "Don't tell me, you can't say bad stuff about the F-18, or you can't say bad stuff about this new weapon system we bought." And they kind of, uh, relinquished or relented to the general's pressure. But I didn't do that because I felt it wouldn't be the thing to do that would be truthful. So I wrote in my 300-page report, if something sucked, I said it sucked. And the Marine Corps intelligence general did not like that at all. Uh, in fact, all of his staff and a lot of the headquarters Marine Corps intelligence department, they didn't like me a whole lot after that. And but the commandant liked it. But so I told the truth in the thing, even though I had immense pressure. Again, they had people calling me, Marines I served with for years, telling me I needed to change it, because it was going to cost millions of dollars if they had to cancel this program. And I couldn't just say that this system was terrible and it didn't work, because there was a lot of jobs involved with that development of that system and contractors. But I just stuck to my guns and told the truth. And it culminated in me walking down the street and running into the intelligence general. And I saluted him, and he didn't even salute me back, and immediately got an inch from my face and just tore me a new one, as they say, for 5 minutes straight. And it got to the point where I just told him, sir, I did my job, and my job was to tell the truth, and that's what the commandant ordered me. And he said, I expected you to have a little more loyalty to the intelligence branch. And my response to him was, sir, I'm pretty sure that's exactly what I did, because I felt telling the truth and getting the equipment cut or the Marines retrained was the right thing to do for the intelligence field. So anytime the issue of integrity or doing the hard thing when it's not the easy thing, that's kind of my leadership example right there.
Yeah, man. And that's what it's about. So for the next generation coming up, or those that are watching this, that's a perfect example of doing the right thing when you know it's hard. And that's what integrity is about, and that's what leading by example and creating the right culture is all about. It's not about what's on the wall. It's not about what you say in a document. It's about how do people act when the leaders above them are in the room, right? And that's hard to do. And I've been in uh, challenging situations in my career, in my military days, around um, things. I mean, never to that extent, but I mean, you gotta do you as hard as it is. You gotta just say either I screwed up or I did this, or just be honest.
You're going
And
against the grain, though. I mean, definitely going against the grain, because the majority of people are just going to fall in line, and it's sort of a self-protection mechanism. I don't want my career to get damaged. I don't want my general. I'm an infantry marine. I don't want the infantry general to be mad at me and give me low ratings. So probably wasn't the best thing career wise, because I kind of just said, I care more about this than I do about my own career, you know,
yeah,
and I paid the price. But I think in the end, it's worth it.
yeah, and the output of that will have a ripple effect, right? And so you know um, sometimes doing the right thing and having integrity um, will unfortunately come with um, bad actors associated with it, is what I'm going to call it,
Yeah,
right? And people that don't have the right intentions afterwards. It'll have the wrong ripple effect, right? 'Cause sometimes that ripple hits the tree branch in the water and it causes that reverberation coming back at you. Um, but it shouldn't. But sometimes it does. And when you're in those environments, just know that you gotta hold true to who you are and the right thing to do, and that moral compass. And man, that is a great story. So I hope that um, the people that are listening to this take that as true wisdom from you, and because that's a really concrete testament of not only who you are, but how to hold true to integrity. Hey, Jonathan, John, Colonel, Lieutenant Colonel, Congressman, soon to be.
yeah,
Um,
not yet.
no, we're buddy. Um, I'm humbled that you're here. Thank you for doing this.
Thanks for having me. Really appreciate it.
Um, yeah, I appreciate you. Thank you for everything you've done. Thanks for what you're continuing to do. Um, what can besides going and checking out your page, which I'll post in the comments, what can what do you want people to remember about you and what you stand for, and what's your takeaway message?
Why do you got to hit me with this?
I don't know. I just I
It's very
it's
deep.
so good. There's so much great content.
Yeah. You know, I don't. I just my what I would want people to remember about me is that I speak the truth. You know, my no, I don't buy into this my truth thing. I I speak the plain truth to people that need to hear the truth, whether it be somebody superior to me in position, power, wealth, or whether it's my own kids. I just don't believe that you should tailor your truth to the audience that's listening to you. You know, it's similar to what why I'm running for office and trying to get involved in Virginia is because I think that so many people up there now are just they speak a truth that's tailored to the Twitter audience or to the Fox News or the Newsmax, and they don't speak the truth that everybody else sees around them. You know, that we see with like the cost of living and things that are basic truths to us. And we live in such an environment now where that everything's disinformation and mistruths. I think we just need more people to speak the truth.
Yeah, I think your career states that you've just here's the facts, right?
Yeah.
And and it's not your truth. It's just this is what it says,
Hmm.
and I'm going to give it to you as it says. And so I like that takeaway message, man. That's good. I mean, it's not mine; it's yours. Um, and so whatever you say is, it's yours. Um, but I hope we have you back here soon, and I get to call you congressman, and I get to come visit you out in some place in DC. I've never been to DC,
Really.
so I'd love to have that be my first trip is to come out and see you as a congressman. That'd be pretty cool. Um, Thanks for sticking with us. Thanks for doing this, and good luck on the good luck on the race. And we look forward to seeing you on the other side.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having
Yeah.
me on.
Have a great night, everybody. Uh, thanks for tuning in to Leaders Lead. This is Zach Husted with Lieutenant Colonel retired Jon Myers, who is running for Congress in Virginia 7th District. Have a great night.